This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. And this is where we at out here. Listen, look, shout out to Tom Homan. Yeah, we're going to start this broadcast off like this. And so this is the deal right here. Yeah, y'all see the title of the broadcast. Apparently, Tom Homan and Dr. Phil got together and they decided to go on raids together up there in Chicago. You know, man, hey, that probably would be fun. That probably would be fun. But that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, we're going to check that out. And we're also going to check out the situation with Chicago becoming a ghost town and things like that. It's crazy out here and a bunch of different scenarios about this situation. Listen, look, we're getting what we was promised. This is how it's going down. We got to get these illegals up out of here. Hopefully that make room for you lames to get back to work. Some of y'all, not all of y'all, but yeah, it is what it is at this point. So we're about to dive off into this. Let's see what Tom Homan had to say with this interview. Let's go here now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
On the border, not only helping us with the departure flights on military planes, but they're helping to build infrastructure. They're putting up Constantino wire. They're down there to create a secure border and lock that border down. And DOD's helped administrations before, but not at this level. So it's a force multiplier, and it's sending a strong signal to the world. Our border's closed.
So is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes, but you're going to see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture. Right now it's concentrating on public safety threats.
Nothing makes a gathering great.
Yeah, y'all know I get commercials. It is what the hell it is. But yeah, though, and this is what's going down here. Yeah, we definitely need this to happen. Sorry, people, but this is what the majority of us voted for. And let's go.
It's a smaller population. So we're going to do this on priority base, as President Trump's promised. But as that aperture opens, there'll be more arrests nationwide.
When you talk about the aperture opening, the estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table, because it's not okay to violate laws of this country. You got to remember, every time you enter this country illegally, you violated a crime under Title 8, United States Code 1325. It's a crime. So if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. And that's why I'm hoping those who are in the country illegally who have not been ordered removed by the federal judge should leave.
Now, my thought process on that is because, listen, look, and I know there are others like me that know people out here and things like that, in passing stuff, or either, saying you may know somebody that's illegal, work with somebody, things like that. It's a lot going on here with this situation. But the fact of this is that these people are illegal. They've broken our laws. And even though they may not be the people that are doing any harm to anybody, and I commend them for that because they're just trying to be decent people. But the thing of this is yes, laws have been broken. We as American citizens cannot go to any other country and lock in without becoming a citizen of said country. That's even if that country will allow you to become a citizen. I mean, it just is what it is out here, people. Now, I know we like to have these hearts out here and things like that, but we have to look out for our country first, our America first. Seriously.
You are emphasizing that you go after national security threats. You have said no one's off the table. If you're in the country illegally, you better be looking over your shoulder. You should be afraid and start packing now. Is that what you're doing to get hotel workers out or people working on farms, that they'll be so scared they just leave?
Look, I think if you're in the country illegally, it's not okay. It's not okay to violate laws of this country. We have millions of people standing in line, taking the test, doing their background investigation, paying the fees that want to come in the right way.
Let's talk about the arrests so far. Numbers released the first day were over 500, and there were reports that one was a suspected terrorist, others were gang members. Were all of the people who were arrested on day one, as far as you know, convicted criminals or those who had been arrested before?
No. Let me explain that. There are collateral arrests. Where do collateral arrests happen? Sanctuary cities. And this is important we understand that. sanctuary cities lock us out of the jails. So instead of ICE being able to arrest the bad guy, the criminal alien, in the safety and security of a jail where the officer's safe, the alien's safe, and the public's safe, sanctuary cities release them back in the community, which endangers the community, putting the criminal alien back in the community. But when we find him, he's going to be with others, most likely. Many times they're with others. If they're in the country legally, they're coming too.
But what we're
Right. Hey, listen, look. And these are just the facts at that point. And we're gonna keep this thing going, but these are the facts of the situation right here with Tom is saying. And yes, you know, they are going to be in the same area, and I get that. Birds of a feather flock together. And I'm not saying that the criminals are flocking with, you know, decent immigrants that are just trying to make a living, but you have to understand that that's a whole community. You know, like they're gonna want to be around other people that are in the same predicament or situation that they're in. So, okay, let's go here now. And let's check this out. So apparently Tom Home and Dr. Phil was on business up there in Chicago. And here we go. They actually caught somebody, and, you know, said this, the person that they caught right here had all types of egregious crimes upon him. You know, apparently he was already convicted as an ex-offender, and you know what I mean by that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a predator from Thailand. Let's go here now.
What's your name?
Seda.
Seda what? You have a first and last name.
Sam.
Seda Sam?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where are you born?
Thailand.
You've been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
But I've been in the system before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charge where?
before?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not talking about lawyer.
So he's asking for a lawyer. At the end of the day, though, dude, you're here illegally. Do you really have the right to a lawyer? I don't think so. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure on that, but don't quote me on that. But he's asking for a lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom says it.
Your mother's a citizen,
Yes.
but you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
You Dr. Phil. You look like Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, you know, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children. And he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really, but at the end of the day, though, these people not playing around. They have your information, son. They know what you've been charged with. They're not going to sit there and say that you've been charged with said crime if you hadn't been charged with the crime already. The information is that I don't get the stupidity. Like, you playing games, son. It just is what it is, though. Look at him. He got the Scully joint on with the eye-opening mask. If y'all see my mouse and shit, all he got to do is pull that thing down over his face. You're not going to see nothing but his eyes and his mouthpiece. He got that Pookie Shiesty mask on and shit out there, you know? Yeah. Look at him. Look at him.
And never been deported?
Nope.
Huh.
Uh-huh.
Let's take him in and process him, lock him up.
Got it, sir.
Rock his ass up.
Working on it. Okay.
All right, but this is the biz here, though. And yeah, so that was Tom Homan, Dr. Phil doing a thing out there. It's crazy, but it's true. And this is where they're at right now. So, you know what I'm saying? We're about to keep going and we're about to see what's going on right here. So apparently, you know what I'm saying, Chicago became a ghost town. Everybody trying to get indoors, everybody trying to hide out here. But you know what? Ain't too much more hiding people gonna be able to do. Let's go here now.
Promises made, promises kept, with President Trump taking immediate action on his top campaign focus, fighting illegal immigration. From coast to coast, ICE agents going city to city, sometimes door to door, tracking down the nearly 1.5 million undocumented set for deportation. And as ICE closes in on migrants, once vibrant Chicago neighborhoods are now turning into ghost towns. And tonight we are taking you to a neighborhood that has gone silent.
Look, I said from day one, no one's off the table.
The Trump administration setting out to execute what it has promised.
We arrested 1,300 people. Over 1,000 of them were criminals.
Immigration and customs enforcement operations reportedly underway in jurisdictions all across the nation. Federal agents have been spotted in many sanctuary cities carrying out these operations.
I hope the sanctuary cities come around.
The usually bustling and vibrant streets of this Hispanic neighborhood in Chicago sit relatively empty because of the concerns over ICE.
Welcome to Mesquite Restaurant, sir.
This little taqueria, like most in the Pilsen neighborhood, is owned and operated by immigrants. The Cruz family, who in 1994 made the long journey from Mexico City to Chicago to grow their little taco stand into a thriving restaurant.
We got tacos. We got breakfast, chilaquiles.
This American dream is one thousands of migrants are striving for when they cross the southern border. But the drastic shutdown of illegal immigration is a campaign promise the majority of American voters are expecting Donald Trump to make good on.
Honest to you, when he come back again, I was like, man, I feel scared.
President Trump, borders are
My thing of this is like this gentleman right here said he felt scared. But my problem with this is, like I've said in previous broadcasts, when this type of situation or scenario comes up, if you've been over here since the 90s, it's, 20, 30 years, why haven't these people gotten their citizenship together? That's 30 years. I don't understand the thought process behind it. How haven't you not gotten it together in 30 years? It baffles my mind because, it's impossible for you to be over here this long. And we also had other immigration deportation situations and things like that, definitely under the Obama administration and things. And, it's like, how you just over here, you haven't tried to get your papers together. You haven't tried to become a natural citizen. It seems like you haven't tried. Obviously, you haven't tried because you're worried that you're going to get deportated at this later age in your life. And you'd have been over here since what they said, like the 90s. He came here with his family and stuff. Like, come on, man.
I feel scared.
President Trump, border czar Tom Homan, and the highest-ranking members of Immigration and Customs Enforcement say they're only targeting violent criminals during these initial deportations. News Nation has seen what these operations look like. I rode along and conducted early morning raids with ICE agents when they arrested men from Iraq and Belize, convicted criminals who spent prison time for robbery and gun charges.
I'm not a criminal. I'm a good guy. I pay my taxes. I do everything right. You know what's going to happen to me? They're going to grab me too. They're not going to check right now.
We've seen examples of resistance throughout.
So why haven't you already gotten your paperwork in order? Why haven't you went down to the immigration place, things like that in your particular city and tried to get you and your family's paperwork in order out here?
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Why? All these decades, they've been like what you said in the beginning. What, been here since the 90s? Something like that? Come on, man. That's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. I'm sorry, but it is. If I was irresponsible for something, I would be held accountable for the shit. Seriously. Come on, people. We got to start actually being honest with ourselves over here in order to clean up this mess that we're in and get things back in order. Now, I get it. They have a successful business and things like that. Now, why haven't you started? I guarantee they making money. Why haven't you started the process of becoming a natural citizen?
throughout Hispanic neighborhoods, including these signs instructing immigrant men and women to push back and block federal agents from entering their homes. But the reality is, new polling shows 65% of Americans strongly support deporting immigrants convicted of violent crimes. That includes Horatio Aguilera, an Iraq War veteran and Mexican-American police officer. He voted for Trump and wants mass deportations of criminals to carry on as quickly as possible.
A lot of Hispanic Americans, there was also a rise that voted for Trump. I think 9 out of 10 people that are living here in America, Chicago, Illinois, are going to agree that if you're an illegal resident and you are arrested for committing a crime, prosecuted for committing a crime, and you are an illegal resident, you are subject to deportation.
The so-called mass deportations have not been carried out in Chicago like people once believed. But that hasn't stopped local and state leaders from sounding the alarm and strengthening local codes which reinforce the city's sanctuary status.
We should stand up for them. That is the right thing to do. But he's trying to tear things down.
Governor, what's your response to people who might say that Democrats are the one sowing chaos, confusion, and fear-mongering when talking about mass deportations that haven't even happened in Chicago?
What are you talking about? They are literally threatening people all across the country.
How is it a threat when these people are illegal? How is it a threat, Governor? Governor, what is he talking about? How is that a threat? You know, you threaten people that are not doing anything. That's a threat. When they're not doing anything, and innocent people, when innocent people get threatened, that's a threat. These people are over here illegally. And then, you know what I'm saying, with the previous part of this, I just showed you guys, you know, the people of that restaurant, they've been here for at least 30 years and hadn't got their paperwork in order yet. And I guarantee you, there's plenty of other, you know, immigrants that are out here that have been over here for decades and have not gotten their paperwork in line. Why haven't they done this? 10, 15, 20, maybe 30 years. If you are over here this long, why haven't you gotten your paperwork in line yet? That's more than enough time to figure out something. I don't want to hear the excuses. 10, 15 years or plus, and you can't get your paperwork in line to become naturalized as an American citizen. I don't want to hear the backlash. I don't want to hear the craziness, because I already know that at the end of the day, though, it's just the truth. Obviously, you're slacking. You're a slacker.
Can you say that we're overreacting somehow? We're not.
The Trump administration is vowing to investigate and prosecute local and state officials who stand in the way of what the federal government is doing.
Right.
Natasha?
Yeah, Alex, with that tonight. Thank you.
Right. And, you know, it's just that at that point, you know what I'm saying? All right. So we're going to keep going. I got another little segment real quick I'm going to show you guys, and this is where we at right here. So we're going to check this one out. Let's go here now.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement says its agents arrested more than 1,200 people in their raids over the weekend. Those raids happening from coast to coast in major cities, including here in Chicago, which was due to be one of Trump administration's first targets as a self-proclaimed sanctuary city. News Nation's Mills Hayes has the latest from Chicago's Little Village neighborhood, which is also known as the Mexico of the Midwest. Mills, two of the country's top immigration officials overseeing the operations, were here in Chicago this weekend.
Hey, good morning, Marky. Yeah, border czar Tom Homan, as well as acting Deputy Attorney General Emil Bovee, were here in Chicago over the weekend. And this comes as nearly 1,000 people were arrested just yesterday for being here illegally. Now, we know this comes at the same time that Washington Post is reporting that President Trump is disappointed in the results of his mass deportation efforts so far. The Trump administration directed ICE officials to ramp up the number of arrests to at least 1,200 to 1,500 people per day. Since President Trump took office a week ago, ICE agents were arresting an average of 433 illegal migrants.
Trump not playing around. He wants y'all to get these fools. Seriously.
Look what she did to me.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, look, it is what it is, man. He's like, ramp it up. Let's make it happen.
day. That number nearly doubled yesterday. Federal agencies like the FBI, DEA, ATF, and U.S. Marshals are all working with the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay, so let's pay attention to this map real quick. Of course, California, stuff like that, but California, all this is on fire right now. You know what I'm saying? We have to keep that in mind. Seattle, Phoenix, Denver. I really want a report on Denver. I really want a report on Denver. I'm gonna search for that pretty soon to see what's going on with Denver. Because if we remember, those Trinidad Lagra was taking over apartment complex over there in Aurora. So yeah, I really want to get back to that. Let's see, San Antonio, Texas, Chicago, DC, Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've seen Atlanta pop across my feed too. So we're gonna report on that pretty soon. Boston, News, you know, y'all see it. Let's keep going real quick.
These targeted enforcements are happening across the country in New Jersey, New York, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas, and many more. In Denver, law enforcement officials conducted an early morning operation at a makeshift nightclub, seizing drugs, weapons, and cash. Approximately 50 people who were in the U.S. illegally were taken into custody, many connected with the Venezuelan gang Trinidad Aragua.
I want a safer community. I live in this community too. And so I feel like the people in Denver metro area can wake up today and feel like they have a safer city to live in.
And ICE arrested 5 Trinidad.
Now that he said that, I wonder if the mayor of Denver is going to feel the same way, because he, you know, if y'all remember things like that, long memories, people, he was upholding the situation about protecting the illegals, just like Brandon Johnson, you know what I'm saying, Eric Adams, he switched his tune a little bit here now, but you know, yeah. And you got damn, I can't think of the lady's name out there, you know what I'm saying, the mayor out there in California, things like that. It's crazy though how these people are natural born American citizens that we've placed in these positions in our, you know, governments and things like that, in state, local, and they're just going to be like, no, we're going to protect the illegals, but it's the taxpayers that are paying for these illegals to manifest themselves in their cities.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
So, you know, it's like, what's going on here, people? You know, you're going to protect the illegals, but the taxpayers are having to pay for these people to be here. So you don't give a fuck about the people that are paying their hard-earned money. You know, the taxes come out of everybody's check before everybody even see a check. So, you know, yeah, we got a problem with this.
The Aragua gang members in Chicago yesterday, including convicted murderers and aggravated sex offenders. Marky?
Including Chicago. Many cities, including Chicago, have promised to fight back against these kinds of raids. What are their leaders saying today, post-weekend?
Well, the city of Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson has been making a Know Your Rights campaign on public transit, making sure that people are aware of their rights, even if they're here in the country illegally. And Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker also sounding the alarm and asking the Trump administration to stop going after people who are here illegally, but are law-abiding citizens.
Violent criminals who are undocumented in this country should be deported. But when we're talking about undocumented people who have been living law-abiding lives and raising families in the United States, we need comprehensive immigration reform. We need to give them an opportunity to stay in this country legally.
Okay, we can't have it both ways, Governor. And I okay, to a small degree, I understand what the governor's saying. Law-abiding, things like that. But why haven't they gone down and trying to get their registration to be naturalized in our country? Why haven't they done such things yet? You know what I'm saying? But my thing of this is that at this point right now, if they're illegal and they've broken our laws, they've broken our laws. I'm sorry, but this is just the facts here. Let's keep going just a little bit.
Legally.
The Illinois Trust Act limits how much local law enforcement can cooperate with federal immigration agents. That essentially blocks Chicago police from helping or assisting with ICE agents. Now, Border Czar Tom Homan has said that if these sanctuary cities would work with ICE, then they wouldn't have to go into communities and arrest people who may be innocent but here illegally. And instead, they could be looking for the bad guys. Marky?
Thanks for watching.
Right. And that's the point right there. Hold on. That's the point. You know, low key, they really don't want to arrest the ones that are not committing the heinous crimes. They really don't they really don't. But when you have sanctuary cities like this, that are releasing the actual criminals back into the communities and things like that to go back around the others that are not committing the crimes and stuff like that, it's the one bad apple spoils the whole bunch. I mean,
what the French toast is there to think about?
I hate that saying, but it just is what it is. Like, we cannot sit here and not understand the factors about this situation. And it's just the truth. And regardless of what, some are going to get, deported that are not heinous criminals, that are actually decent people, but their paperwork is not in order over here. And I hate it, but it just is what it is, though. They're breaking the law. Just like I break the law, I got to go down. You break the law, you got to go down. We have laws in place for a reason, to keep society on a stable track for a reason. And these are just the factors. And yeah, man, it's crazy out here, but this is where we at. So yeah. Hopefully everything gets smoothed out. But at this point right now, while shit hitting the fan, yeah, it just is what it is, people. It just is what it is. It's no way around this, man. And some are not going to be able to escape it. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.